Hello, friends, and welcome to another Pauper series. I am Cooper the Red, and today we're going to be playing a mix of decks, but we're going to be starting out with Black Gardens. So this is the list we're going to be starting out with today, and we're going to be doing something a little bit unique. I don't normally stream on Saturdays. Usually, we're going to be watching Propaganda, but there's no Propaganda today. So I figure that maybe I would be able to fill that gap a little bit. If any of you have been looking for some popper action on Saturday, well, that's what we're going to get to today. And if any of you are on Modo, if you're online, then feel free to drop by the tournament practice room. I'll be playing for a little while and accepting challengers. Another thing, unfortunately, about these casual games is people don't take them nearly as seriously. We're sitting here, like a minute onto the clock, and here we go. It's passed back. Not a huge fan of this hand. We don't have a lot of stuff going on. We can't even cast the snuff out. I think we might even mulligan this, try and find something a little bit better, and we get something much, much worse. Opponent is on 7. Let's see what they play here. Usually you don't see basic mountain in the tournament practice room. No, it's a basic island. Oh, looks like we might be playing against Fae, which is a very good deck. Blue Fairies is actually the deck that I recommend for most people to start in the format with. It's both a very, very good deck, and also it has a lot of cards that are going to translate into other decks. Another Fairy Miscreant, allowing them to draw a card. Maybe looking for MC Hacker here. Or maybe they already have Hacker in hand and they're just looking to maximize their card draw. Okay, so no Hacker. Let's play the Swamp. Chainer's Edict. Hopefully they don't have a Spell Pierce. No Spell Pierce. Oh, and they even leave the tapped one as the fairy that's on board here, so we can get in with a plant token. Aha! What a bungling from our opponent. We actually can't attack with a plant token here because they could have the 1/2 with flash. Hey Jay. Yeah, it's just not safe. Not safe to attack there. No ninja again. We get spinning darkness. Well, we haven't been seeing too much luck with our draws here. We can play the Ichor Wellspring. We are playing it into a Spellstutter sprite, but we got to do something. Oh, they're going to Spell Pierce the Ichor Wellspring. Okay. And I guess we'll Bajuka Bog. We have nothing else to do, so we'll play a tap land here. Hey, Shona. Yeah, we're going to be changing decks quite a bit today, just playing whatever takes our fancy from match to match. And any viewers that are looking for games, that is an option too. We're playing a casual today, which is the propaganda way. Kind of hoping we'll see some of the propaganda regulars today. Just found out that Deluxe Psychoff has taken the day off, so figured might as well try and fill that void. And I kind of wish that I would be drawing some spells here to fill the void in my hand. But the opponent doesn't seem to be moving very quickly either. We've seen no ninjas yet. If opponent continues with this pace of play, their clock is going to be a problem. Going to his son's graduation. Very cool. Okay, Fairy Seer means that Spellstutter Sprite now counters 3 drops. So even if we find Suffocating Fumes, we're not really going to be able to cast it currently. Okay, so they scryed 1 top, 1 bottom. Casto have 1 mind, and now they've scryed again 1 top, 1 bottom. They only have 2 cards left in hand. No ninjas again, though. We find Snuff Out. All right. We can actually cast that for mana, which is not something you normally do. Hey, thanks for the follow, friend. Blistering pace of play. I don't know how I'm going to be able to keep up with this. Opponent just plays too fast. You know, the speed is so incredible, it's almost like they're not moving at all. Another Fairy Seer, so like a spell stutter sprite is basically going to be able to counter anything at this point. Still no ninja? Ridiculous. Find a Chainer's Edict. All removal. So we've got 2 Crypt Rats out of the board for this matchup. Even if we start killing things in response, we're not going to be able to bring the number of fairies down below 2. So Chainer's Edict is getting countered here. I think I think we just let the attack come in because do we thinking maybe on upkeep we snuff out the spell stutter sprite? That is an unplayable magic card. Another spell stutter sprite. All right, so they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, even if we spinning darkness here, they're not. This snuff out is still going to be countered. Oh my god, so many fairies. We need the sweepers. Where are they? Yeah, it's tricky though, because if I spinning darkness, then I lose my Chainer's Edicts out of the graveyard. Not that Edict is doing very much now, but if we find a sweeper, it's doing a lot. This is a lot of damage though. I think, yeah, we do have to spinning darkness. It's just too much damage. And we'll do this on the attacker's step, so they're not able to switch out whatever with a ninja. And we find the sweeper on top. Do they have another counter spell? They don't. Womp womp womp. Alright, I guess we just crypt rats for 2. I think we do it on upkeep, so they're not able to like flash something in response, like another intruder, and still have an attacker next turn. You think I should do it for 3 in case of Muta? That's fair. You know, by that rationale, I should even do it for 4, but I don't have the mana for that. Yeah, unfortunate. So we're going down to 3 here. You know what I should have done? Okay, they don't even attack with it. That's a pretty big mistake from the opponent's part. But what I should have done, I should have just waited until combat and then blocked the Brine Barrow Intruder and then activated. Like, we didn't get punished there, but we should be at 3 going to 2 here instead of 6 going to 5. And they do finally find a ninja. Excellent, excellent. Well, if you're sticking around, you can be the next match. And our deck is not doing us any favors here. After giving us the sweeper that let us get back into this game here, they're just giving us land, land. Opponent really should have put that creature down so they could be attacking for 3 here instead of 2. But this is the level of play you get in the tournament practice room, I suppose. Come on, deck. After giving us a line to get into this game, it just gives us nothing afterwards. All right, so let's bring in Crypt Rats. What do we take out here? Probably Thorn. Maybe one of the Hunters. I don't mind keeping a couple Duress. They're not the worst. Blood Fountain the same way. Like, it's not the worst card. We could be bringing in some Weather the Storms to try and buy us a little bit of time, but I'm not sure that's the way to go. Yeah, we have all the tools. We just need to draw them. And that was a multi-5. Let's see if we can do a little bit better this time. Well, we got some good tools. And we're on the play. It's a little bit slow, though. Opponent is on a mulligan here. Okay, here we go. So they decide to keep at 6. We'll play a swamp and pass. Next turn, we'll probably just play the Rot Farm. Looking for a turn 3 Visionary, or even a turn 3 Crypt Rats. If they don't have any counter magic up, it's actually kind of difficult for them to kill Crypt Rats. They do potentially have Gut Shot out of the sideboard, but that's pretty much their only way to answer the Crypt Rats once it's already on the board. Besides, I guess they also do have Snap. 2 tops. Ooh, we draw the Chainer's Edict. We're going to play Chainer's Edict here. So they're not able to turn 2 Ninja. Okay, now they're holding up counter magic. So we'll just play the Rot Farm. And we'll return Vault of Whispers, so we still have the Swamp in play, which bluffs Snuff out. Okay, so it looks like no land for turn. Let's play this Visionary. Now they have to decide if this is something that is worthwhile to counterspell. And they let it resolve. We get to draw a card. Another Spinning Darkness. And then with the Visionary, we'll have mana actually to cast this. We are going to have to block here, though, so they're going to have an opportunity to kill the Visionary with a Mutagenic Growth. Oh, no attacks. Wonderful. All right, so we get to choose between playing a Spinning Darkness hardcast or casting Ichor Wellspring. Kind of think they're going to play another Brine Barrow Intruder here, which would make Spinning Darkness okay. And it would also put another black card in the graveyard for the next Spinning Darkness. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Okay, no intruder. No attack. 6 mana for a removal spell. How does this work out? They use the counter spell on it. Now they're tapped out. Amazing. I mean, resolving the Crypt Rats is really good, but I mean, we just have Chainer's Edict, Ichor Wellspring attack here. Which also sets up our Spinning Darkness. So yeah, opponent stuck on 2 lands here, and that's really not where they want to be. Let's play this Blood Fountain as well. I don't really want to discard anything currently, though. We've got some pretty good cards in hand. Free removal spell, double Crypt Rats, which is one of our best cards in this matchup. So yeah, I don't want to discard any of this. So they do find their third island here and pass back. One, two, three, four, five, six. So if I tap the Visionary to attack, I don't have Spinning Darkness mana anymore. Yeah, I do. Why did I think I didn't have enough mana? Still have exactly enough mana. Learn to camp, Cooper. Opponent does nothing. Well, as long as opponent's doing nothing, then we're winning. We have the creature on board here, and we have amazing cards in hand. Okay, so they're going to play an intruder, and our creature does no damage this turn. Oh, they're going to jump in front. Are they also going to Muta? If they Muta, we'll Spinning Darkness. Nice. I can actually blood token this Bajuka Bog since the whatever they have going on here, it's not really important in their graveyard. And we'll do it now just in case we draw another land, get a Colony Garden, we'll play that. Don't currently have any creatures in the yard to fetch back with the Blood Fountain. Opponent plays Of One Mind for full cost. And they find another island. So they're at 4 lands now on turn 8. But they do still have 6 cards in hand. Versus our 2 cards in hand. Our 2 cards are very, very good here. So with them having the one island up, it means they're not going to have any significant form of counter magic here. So we're just going to go ahead and play the Crypt Rats. Actually, with them playing the Faeries here, I think we're going to flash back the Chainer's Edict instead. Get some value out of that and keep them from having a ninja in play. Of course, this looks like a fairy now, but with wizards, you never know when they're going to cast Polymorph. Oh, now I'm a ninja. Two more damage in. They have 6 cards in hand, and they pass right back. We find Suffocating Fumes, another incredible card in this matchup. These are the cards that we were looking for last game. The fairy has been a ninja all along. So they're going to cast a Spell Stutter Sprite here. Sure. Should have maybe stopped on upkeep. Could have tried to cast that down. This is fine, though. During the attacker's step, we're going to cast down that fairy. Do we cast down our fumes? Why don't we just cast it down? Oh, that worked. Kind of figured that it wasn't going to. We're going to have to respawn, but we just go ahead and get it. Let's, speaking of get it, let's get in for two more. The slowest clock, almost. Only a little bit faster than attacking with these plant tokens. Kind of feels like, but getting the job done. Now, this is what I was talking about with that clock issue here. Um, it looks like we're going to go to a game 3, and opponent has less than 10 minutes on their clock. Uh, might actually be a good idea for them to actually just concede here. But this is tournament practice, which means there's nothing actually online for the match here. And that does change the way people play. Here's another Brine Barrow Intruder looking to get in front of our Visionary. Okay, it's not actually going to block. It's just going to sit there. Okay. Well, let's try and use this other Chainer's Edict then. And they're going to Spell Pierce that. Okay. We do have a land here in hand, but we don't have to feel bad about not playing it before we cast our spell because it comes into play tapped. And we have plenty of blockers for this intruder, so we don't have to worry about it turning into a ninja. It's just a rogue. Okay, they are going to play a Moon Circuit Hacker here and pass the turn back. We find a swamp. All right, let's play a Crypt Rat, see what happens. Intruders trampling all over our plants, coming into our garden, messing things up. Yeah, we are definitely in a dominating position here. That's why I was musing that it might be better for the opponent to just go ahead and concede at this point. I watch a little bit. Would not say that I'm a weeb, but I've watched some of the older stuff like Cowboy Bebop, Samurai Champloo. Was a big fan of Hellsing Ultimate. Actually, what was the name of that? Parasite Maximum is, I think, probably the most recent anime I've seen. Specifically, Hellsing Ultimate. Hellsing Ultimate was pretty good. What's wrong with killing a whole bunch of vampire Nazis? It sounds like a good time. I'll throw another plant in front here. Oh, we find Deadly Dispute. Very cool. Let's go ahead and fire that off with the Ichor Wellspring. Draw a bunch of cards. Or at least try to. Bacon Master, I kind of feel like there was a follow up to that question there. What animes would you recommend? Ah, there it is. I'm just thinking about last time I watched. How do I want to say this? The broom thing. Definitely just reminded me a little bit of Kiki's Delivery Service, which is a really fun anime. So no attacks with Crypt Rats here. I'm just going to play this Visionary, play my Garden, and pass the turn unless we get something good off the top. Oh yeah, I have actually watched Castlevania. I did enjoy that one quite a bit. Kiki's Delivery Service is like it's pretty good, and I think it hits harder as you grow up. Because I think as a kid, you can't really understand the levels of depression that she's going through. I guess maybe that's just me being sheltered or like having a good upbringing, you could say. Maybe kids can't understand that very well if you've been through it. But yeah, very, very depressing story. No attacks. Don't want to run into a Brine Barrow Intruder or a Spell Stutter Sprite. Opponent has 6 minutes, 30 seconds left on their clock. They're going to need a very strong start in game three, which is entirely possible with them being on the play. So, one of the best things for me at this point is just to let this game go on as long as possible. If this game can just continue, then I'll win on clock. Oh, and I have watched a little bit of Overlord, actually. Years ago, I was keeping up on the story on the internet. As I understand it, it started from just this little episodic thing that this person threw up on the internet like a blog, and it just kind of blew up into a manga and then into an anime. I don't want to cast this for flashback. We have too much stuff in hand that would be important for us to be able to cast. So we'll just attack in for two and pass the turn. Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It was like put up onto the internet piece by piece, like chapter by chapter. And yeah, you could absolutely turn that into a book. Here's a cast down for their fairy. So again, no ninja. We're casting the cast down on attacks. And oh man, they're going to concede here. Just hoping to get a little bit more time off their clock. I'm wondering if what we're doing is trying to win through the clock here, Weather the Storm is probably an excellent card to be bringing in. Opponent about to hit the red zone on their clock. And I am about to finish my tea. Don't worry though, chat. I've got my pot of tea right over here on my desk so that when my tea runs out, I can just refill it. Kind of worried at this point that maybe opponent's going to turn this around on us and just let their clock run out for the next 4 minutes and 30 seconds. The name is Just Polo. See if they've started up another game. Okay. That's not what's happening. Well, they did choose to play first, so I guess they're just using this time to decide if they're going to mulligan. I am not a fan of this hand. I'm going to mulligan this one. This one's good. Keep this, get rid of, I think, a bargain. And no turn one play yet, but that doesn't mean that they don't have a creature to play. Let's go ahead and duress them. Oh, they're going to spell pierce that. Okay. That works out just fine. One spell pierce down. Let's play this Blood Fountain into their Spell Stutter Sprite. I think at this pace of play, even if they have a God Hand, they're probably just don't have enough time. Oh, actual counter spell versus our Blood Fountain. That is aggressive. All right, well, I'll take a look at that. Doro. Of one mind, full price, allowing us to go ahead and cast Line of War Visionary. No, I don't mind violence in my anime. Told you that I liked Hellsing Ultimate and Parasite, so I think that that's pretty safe to assume. I'm just going to leave the Visionary back as a potential blocker here. We're so far ahead because of the clock. All I have to do is play for time. Oh, that just means that we don't let it show how much we appreciate a good rough up. But I mean, have you seen hockey? The brawls that our athletes get into? Blood on the ice. Oh, they're playing a little bit faster now. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Russia traditionally has put up some pretty stiff competition versus the Canadian team. It's Deadly Dispute, the Elvish Visionary, if it's going to die anyway. They're going to dispel our Deadly Dispute. I think we're going to try again on this Deadly Dispute thing. And they're going to dispel again. That's a lot of dispels. Find a cast down. Dispel number 3. Actual counterspell. Wow. They have 1 card left in hand, but they're about to turn this intruder into a ninja. I mean, why else would you work so hard to protect it? Their last card in hand must have been a ninja. What? Okay, I'll just take 1, I guess. Pass back. Yeah, fine. I can just take 1 damage. You know what? We don't need to do that. We don't need to cast this creature down. Let's just wait. Gain 6 life. Ninja of the Deep Hours. I guess we'll try and cast that down. Spell Stutter Sprite, and we don't have the mana left over for Suffocating Fumes. But I guess they could have another Spell Stutter Sprite in hand, which would make Crypt Rats here kind of poor. We fortunately do have 20 life, though. Yep, that's what we were going for. Let's just slam the Crypt Rats. Oh, it resolves. Wonderful. That's GG, for sure. You can't save them all, opponent. Block the ninja, so even if they mutagenic growth, they're not going to draw the card. And then we'll Crypt Rats for 2, try and wipe their board. They do have the mutagenic growth to save the ninja of the deep hours. Okay. They're going to switch out one of their spell stutter sprite, so they lose the hacker instead of the sprite. They get to keep sprite and ninja, and they have 9 seconds left on the clock. I probably should just like deadly dispute this Ichor Wellspring, but I just don't care. The opponent has 5 seconds left. It's not an issue. Hey, Alzheimering on Predict. Thank you so much for the sub, for your Prime sub. There are so many people here on Twitch that you could use that sub for, and I really appreciate that you chose to give it to me. Enjoy those emotes. Eisen, cheers. Opponent puts up the GG in chat. I'll do the same if they're still here. There you go, GG. So one thing I have been considering, I put Ichor Drinker into this deck recently, and while it does synergize very, very well with what we're doing, I'm not sure if this deck is actually, or I'm not sure that this is the best card for this slot. I'm thinking maybe Cast Down might just be a better card for that. But we'll go ahead and play it. Stream Sniper, yep. Sniping is fine today. We just ask that you don't ghost. Okay, there's going to be a cool matchup. Scary leads me to believe that we're fighting the no creature infect, or in Shauna's case, there might actually be a creature in this list. Regardless, we are aggro, so we will do aggro things. Casting our creatures and turning them sideways. Take 1 damage. Yeah, there's a Hickory Woodlot and a pass. Opponent's going to start doing their big things next turn. And we're going to start doing our big things on turn 4. So let's play this Mold Folk. Play a Mortician Beetle. And attack for damage. So I'm thinking probably cast Iron Apprentice, sacrifice both Iron Apprentices, and just go in for big damage. That'll be quite a bit. Looks like Shauna's gotten a slow start. If they're casting the Vivisurgeon's Insight here, that's okay, Deep Analysis. That makes a lot more sense. Because at this point, they really want to have the Prism on the battlefield, or the Chalice, so they can start making big mana and start making big moves. Oh, we get another land. Very nice. So we can sacrifice the Ichor Drinker as well at this point and get even more damage down. Okay, not quite lethal, but almost. Turn 4, big pressure. Now Shauna knows that this is their last turn, unless they're able to do something pretty special. Prism would be pretty much a perfect start. Okay, Pentad Prism. Now, I don't think they're going to have Moment's Peace in the main, so they could potentially go through a big turn here and try to weather the storm to gain enough life. We do have 1 more damage, by sacrificing the Vault of Whispers, and then if we return this, make it a creature and sacrifice it, that's 3 damage. So that would be one. That'd be 3 mana to make the creature out of this, and then one more. So that's 14, 15, 16, 17 damage. And if we get a land, we can do 18. Okay, there is Weather the Storm. They're going to need another Weather, and that should be enough to give them another turn. Okay. So that's 12, 17. Yeah, we're not going to have enough to do lethal, but we could do 18. Might as well do 18. Okay. Shauna casts the Deep Analysis from the graveyard. And an Augury. Fortunately, we don't have a poison counter currently, so we don't have to worry as much about these proliferate spells. Once we get that poison counter, then all of these spells, of course, become part of the kill condition. But currently, they are just making mana, which is still a good thing for the opponent, but pretty big difference between like making mana versus making mana and giving us the infect token or counter rather. And I think that's going to be it for game one. Moving forward, though, we do have to worry quite a bit about the Moment's Peace. So we're going to be looking to. I don't think that's going to be enough. Well, it would have been enough, except we drew Blight Belly Rat. Hey, Stompy. Hey, thanks for coming by and saying so. Really appreciate that. If you're interested, stick around a little bit. We could play a game. I'm just playing casually today with viewers, and I'd love to play a match versus you. All right, so we're gonna bring in Mesmeric Fiend 100%, and then the question is, do we bring in Rotten Reunion as well? I think they've got like 2 premium targets for that spell, so we're gonna bring that in. I'll get rid of Ichor Drinker. Make this a little bit easier to see. And then we're also going to get rid of Whisper of the Dross. Which leaves 1 card left to be taken out. Ah, fantastic. I'm always happy to be here for some good games and hanging out with chat. Normally, I would not be playing on Saturday, but since Propaganda isn't online today, I figured I would fill that void for any of the Pauper people looking to watch some games. Hey, no worries, no worries. Just thought I'd throw the offer out there. I'm thinking I might actually take out the Deadly Dispute here, since I'm really going to be focused on aggression, getting those creatures down and turning them sideways. So taking out Deadly Dispute seems fine. Oh, this is a fine hand. We get to play Karen Feeder. We get the Mesmeric Fiend. I'm wondering though, like a lot of the time, I like to sacrifice the Mesmeric Fiend with its trigger on the stack. We're gonna keep this, But in this case, against this matchup, I think this might be the one where we actually just want to keep it on the battlefield as a 1-1 attacker, since the opponent is going to play so little removal. Get this Karen feeder down before counter magic. And then we'll start playing Mesmeric Fiends. And we take the Pentad Prism, 100%. Go ahead and show the cards that we've seen in the revealed zone. Here's a Vivisurgent's Insight. And they also played the Swamp. 7 cards in hand, giving us plenty of things to look at for this secondary Mesmeric Fiend. Vraska's Fall. I guess we grab Vraska's Fall here, which gives us a poison counter. And then we'll play, I guess, Nested Shambler. I don't think it matters too much. And attack for 2. Okay, they play the Snow-Covered Island. Click. And there's Deep Analysis. Maybe I should have grabbed the Deep Analysis. I'm just kind of hoping that we draw the Rotten Reunion. It is a lot of card draw. Shuffle mode means that I'm going to be playing a lot of different decks today. I normally like to tell people, I'm going to be playing this deck, and I'm going to be playing that all day, but today we're playing Tournament Practice, which is normally what Deluxe Lykoff does. And yeah, we're going to be playing different decks, potentially against people here in chat. Okay, there's the Weather the Storm. So we know about some lands in hand here. We play Forest. Thirsting Roots to proliferate. Fortunately, we don't have poison. Oh, you want to proliferate my Karen feeder? Augury. Actually, I should not be F6 here, just in case I might want to sacrifice something to the Karen feeder. Like if they have Anoint with Affliction, I want to have that option. Maybe they want to get their Pentad Prism back or something. Oh, the Serrated Arrows! Damn, that's really, really good against us. Fortunately, we got quite a bit of pressure here, and every time they go to try and kill a thing, then we can go ahead and kill it in response. And grow our Karen feeder. Kind of expected them to go after a Mesmeric Fiend at first here. Just a swamp off the top, unfortunate. All right, let's go in for some more damage. Ah, not quite enough damage. Just 9 damage. I was kind of hoping that would be enough to, like set him up for lethal next turn. Okay, well, Deep Analysis Flashback does set us up for lethal. Kind of funny, actually, seeing Shauna play the serrated arrows. Because he was kind of knocking on him pretty hard when I was playing this deck. I wonder if he is playing the Blight Belly Rat. Because that's something that he was mentioning quite a bit when I was playing the deck. But I did not really like it as an option. Contentious Plan, putting another counter on the serrated arrows here. Everflowing Chalice. Thirsting Roots to proliferate again. Serrated Arrows, back up to 3 arrow counters on it. But do they have... Oh, they don't have a lot of mana left here. I think this is just death. Yes, indeed. They might have been looking for another Weather or Moment's Peace, but looks like Shauna ran out of mana. GG. And just as far as Pauper goes in particular, um, pretty hard to find Pauper games anywhere else, to be honest. Okay, we get a basic island start from opponent. Let's play Thraben Inspector. Okay, island now on upkeep. They're going to ice my plains. Okay. Get a Spirited Companion. So not really able to play anything right now with the plains tap, so this is a great opportunity to play the Sanctuary. Yeah, it does. Bacon Master, I really understand that. It does suck to, reinvest and, like spend the money to have the same decks, on 2 platforms, real life and Moto. Renting, of course, is an option. I'm sponsored by Card Hoarder and would highly recommend. You jerk. I've been hoodwinked, chat. That is such a good play. Hoodwink on an early Karoo. Oh my god. We were set so far back. Oh, I've been bringing Pauper Commander decks to Commander Night. Sweet. Hopefully you've been getting some people interested in the format. On upkeep, what is this? Target player can't play lands this turn, draw a card. Well, we can't do anything, so I guess we pass the turn again. Gonna get rid of this Sanctuary. It's just like Sanctuary seems to be a liability at this point. On upkeep, you have like another turf wound or something. Ice on our land. Okay, so that's fine. At least we get to make a land drop this turn. Yeah, Shauna is a Shauna comes and hangs out here in chat sometimes. Oh, Jesus. Now there goes all of our lands. Not like I wanted to cast my spells anyway. This is ridiculous. I guess I'll get rid of 3 drops here since we're never going to cast our 3 drops. So rude. I think that like the Selesnya Sanctuary was such a huge turning point in this match. We might have been able to do something here if we had had, opportunities to play our 2 drops and get aggressive that way. And there's Tolarian Terror. So yeah, we'll concede here. And see what we have against this matchup. Basically nothing. What kind of lands were they playing? I think it was a gain land. Saltwater Cliffs. No, Swiftwater. Yeah, gain land. Okay. I mean, we could bring in Prismatic Strands, but I think once we get to the point where Shauna is attacking us, we're basically game over anyway. So let's just resubmit, no changes. Woof. Don't really like this land here, where it comes into play tapped. So when they bounce it, we're going to suffer. And we find a sanctuary. Definitely not the land we were looking for. Yeah, and they're going to bounce the crossroads, so we're not going to be able to play our spirited companion this turn unless we draw an untapped land, which we do. We're going to need 1 more white creature in order to battle Screech. So let's attack for 3 and pass the turn. All right, what is this going to be? Cannot play lands or something? Maybe some more form of counter spell. Actually, you know what? If we play the veteran and they counter it, we can disturb. They're probably holding up counter for Battle Screech. Let's go for Chaplain then. I'm going to attack here because I'm assuming they're holding up counter magic. Oh, and I was totally wrong. It's a breath weapon, which still was going to absolutely crush our Battle Screech. So good thing we didn't cast it. Okay, 2 accumulated knowledge, and now we get to land an Overseer. And we get a land, so we get to play the Veteran as well. Gain a life. Not that the life gain matters at all in this matchup. Find a Thraben Inspector, pass back. Hoodwink on the basic planes. And returning to our turn. On upkeep, they're going to turf wound, so we cannot play a land. And wouldn't you know it, that's what we draw. All right, so let's play this. Crack the clue, find another land, and then we'll Battle Screech. While they're tapped out, they've already used a breath weapon, so maybe these birds will stick around. Let's find out. Another Swiftwater Cliffs, putting our opponent to 19 with 5 cards in hand. 2 mana Hoodwink a Plains, and Boomerang a Plains with 1 red mana remaining. So, no Sweeper. That's a bonus. Let's play the Plains, play a Thraben Inspector. And attack. Get some damage in. Let's go. Yeah, so one of the things about playing in the tournament practice room is you're going to come across some really, really cool decks. Things that people would generally never bring into a league. And this would be one case. Shauna has shared this list previously, so it is a known factor. Kind of hoping their last card isn't Breath Weapon here. Guess it isn't. Awesome. We do have 8 cards in hand. We have to discard a hand size. Let's discard the Selesnya Sanctuary. It's just, Sanctuary's just a liability in this matchup. And we managed to win that game. What do you think of the new Ring Tempts You mechanic? I don't know about it. Let's see here. Explain. Ring Tempts You. So it's a little bit like venture into the dungeon. Is there anything in Pauper that's been spoiled that is going to allow us to go through that? Is this something that I have to learn? Really wishing we had access to Mana Tithe here. Mana Tithe would be amazing. We're gonna mulligan this. We're gonna mulligan this. We're gonna mulligan this. Man, we just get absolute crap. I don't even want the sanctuary. It's a liability. How many lands are we playing in this deck? 21 lands. I mean, I guess two of our hands had double land, but they were double colorless land. So that's definitely my fault for registering a deck with double colorless land. Oh, okay. It buffs a creature. Ah, damn. I was kind of hoping we were going to be able to cast our Rafine's Informant here. No such luck. I'll take that trade. Seems like a good trade for me. They have two cards in hand. What are they going to do during our upkeep to make us sad? Can't play lands this turn. And there's a Tolarian Terror. Going to be pretty difficult for us to deal with that, especially when we can't play lands. And another Terror. All right, that's GG. We lose that one. Oh, what a way to lose. So I'm not a huge fan of this hand. We have two lands, but no red sources. And nothing to do early. This hand is quite a bit better. We'll keep this one. Got our Cleansing Wildfire. which can go get us our white mana. Opponent plays Mountain into Swiftspear. So we're in deep, deep trouble. Because this deck is so damn good. I think I might actually want to just play the Rustvale Bridge, and then we can bolt this Swiftspear before it does too much damage. And opponent just passes with 2 mana up. Wildfire, yup, yuppers, grab a plains. We find an elementalist. Cool, cool, cool. So we're actually ready to play Goliath Paladin next turn, depending on their play. And if they're playing nothing, then we're playing Goliath Paladin. What is in their hand? They're doing nothing. So we got a Prismatic Strands in hand, which is pretty sweet. They're just passing the turn back. What the hell? What do they have in hand? Attack for 5. I want to keep the Prismatic Strands up, so if we play the Elementalist, we only have 2 mana left. Let's just play this Dawnbringer Cleric and gain 2 life. Lord of the Rings movie evening, and no worries, Blaubear. Enjoy the movies. And again, opponent does nothing. We find a Stonehorn Dignitary. Okay. Well, I guess if that resolves, we don't have to worry about combat on their side. I am like really worried about what they could just be waiting to deploy. What is going on? Do we want to just hold Prismatic Strands just in case? Just gonna hold Prismatic Strands. We've got lethal on board here. No reason for us to take the shields down. Reckless Impulse, sure. Find Lava Spike and Needle Drop. So this is a more classic burn list then. That's Strands, I guess. Hey, Blind. Welcome, welcome. Okay. Well, that was pretty lucky for on our part. Let's bring in Dawnbringer Cleric and a Ration Cleric. What do we take out here? Stonehorn Dignitary doesn't seem very good. Maybe the Palace Sentinels as well. I don't know. I'm just taking out stuff at the top of the curve here that isn't Goliath Paladin. Let's take a moment here to really think about this. Smash to Dust seems quite poor, unless they're playing the Kuldotha Rebirth, which I don't think they are. I want to keep the Abrade. Maybe we take out 1 Palace Sentinel. I don't think there's anything further in the sideboard that we want to bring in. Maybe if we end up seeing the 2/2, we could bring in Breath Weapon. But until we see that, then I'm not going to leave it in the sideboard. So I think that was a mull to 5. but I think opponent was just flooded out. So blind, if you're going to be sticking around for a while, feel free to join in. It's an open invite to everyone in chat. Played a couple games against Shauna. So if you have access to Moto and you want to play a game, then let me know. Good hand, but we didn't have the lands there. We'll keep this one and get rid of Palace Sentinels. We're probably going to be just straight up playing the Ash Barrens as a land here. So that we can deploy this Dawnbringer turn 2. All right, so it looks like they did have an instant they were considering on casting there, chose not to. Here's a Thermo Alchemist, one of their better creatures for sure. And we'll gain 2 life. Another Thermo Alchemist. That is big trouble. Fortunately, we do find a removal spell. So let's go ahead and take one of these out. And pass back. Not able to get any damage in with Dawnbringer Cleric. They have a fine blocker and Thermal Alchemist. And leaving it back is going to allow us to block a Swift Spear. Okay, here's a Flame Breather. And we find Prismatic Strands, but we don't have the mana to cast anything in our hand besides the Ephemerate to gain a little bit of life. That will be probably what we're going to do here. We're just going to see if opponent is going to throw a spell at the Dawnbringer Cleric here. Maybe they try and Lightning Bolt or something. Mattia, thank you. Take a bit of damage there. Kind of hoping to see a Lightning Bolt targeting the Cleric at this moment. Fair enough, Blind. Fair enough. It's one of the Chain Lightning and Lightning Bolt revealed here. It's one of the aspects of propaganda that I particularly enjoy. It gives people an opportunity to showcase their deck here on Twitch. And yeah, Shauna had a pretty nice opportunity to showcase a particularly rude deck that focuses on land and denial. All right, so let's go ahead and ephemerate the Dawnbringer Cleric while they're tapped out and gain 4 life. 2 now and 2 on upkeep. I guess we could get rid of the Lava Dart out of the graveyard. That might actually be a good option here. I think that would save us more life in the long run. Or we force them to use it now, getting rid of one of their mountains. Okay, so they go ahead. They lose the Lava Dart. We don't draw a land, but we do draw a card we can play with another Dawnbringer Cleric, and we'll gain 2 more life. Chain Lightning our face. We're probably just dead here. Yeah, the Lava Spike from hand. Not able to hit any of our land drops. We're on turn 6. I guess we had 5 turns, but yeah, no land drops after turn 2. Uh, Meant that we couldn't really play the game, unfortunately. But it kind of seemed like the opponent wasn't able to play the game um, on game 1, so I guess that's only fair. Turnaround is fair play. Let's head into game 3 and see if we can actually make it a back and forth game here. We do have some good cards for this matchup. Removal is a little bit light. Okay. This is the hand we can keep. Cleansing Wildfire, turn 2. Ooh, but they got the turn 1 Swift Spear. Would have been nice if we drew a Lightning Bolt there, but no such luck. Ah, Prismatic Strands is a good one, though. How much damage? Just 1 damage from the Monastery Swift Spear this turn. And they play a Thermal Alchemist. Let's play a Dawnbringer Cleric, gain a life. There are 2, actually. We'll play a Rustvale Bridge and pass the turn back. So we have Ephemerate available to gain a little life. Don't like seeing another Swift Spear, though, when we don't have any removal available. I guess we'll gain a little bit of life here. Nope, they're going to Lightning Bolt the Cleric in response. So we do not get the Ephemerate stuff. But we do kind of prevent quite a bit of damage that way. Ooh, we get the Faithless Looting, so we can discard the Prismatic Strands. That's cool. See what we draw with this. We get an Abrade. Really looking at like a land drop would be sweet to get that Thermal Alchemist off the table. And a Lightning Bolt to get the another critter off the table. Very nice. I think I might just go ahead and Prismatic Strands on upkeep. No, let's wait. Let's make them actually cast things before we invest in Prismatic Strands. Prevent all red damage. And it's back to us. Okay. So this is kind of interesting. We have the Abrade and Lightning Bolt. Generally, I would want to get rid of the Thermal Alchemist, but with the Goliath Paladin coming down, I'm wondering if that is still the right play, since Thermal Alchemist cannot take the initiative from us. So maybe we want to like kill Swift Spears? So I'm probably going to end up discarding this Ash Barrens to Faithless Looting, but regardless, we're going to use it to take a land out of the deck so that we draw into potentially more spells. Smash to Smithereens to deal us 3 damage. And I think we're supposed to chump. Find another land. Unfortunate. All right, let's play this Goliath Paladin. Play a land, pass turn. Thermal Alchemist. And they can take the initiative here. They choose not to take the initiative. Let's forge on the Goliath Paladin. Make it even more of a force here, and we find another Paladin. Amazing. All right, let's attack in for 5. If we play a land here, we can flashback Faithless and maybe put another Prismatic Strands into the graveyard here. Let's go for it. We do not find the Prismatic Strands. I guess we'll keep the Palace Sentinels. We could still just be dead here, just from direct damage plus a Thermal Alchemist. If they have a Fire Blast, we're dead. Or Fire Blast plus 1 more spell. Down to 6. Gut shot. For life. Puts us to 4. Gut shot again. This puts us to 2. And then the lava dart out of the graveyard. Okay, gut shot. Anyways, is that's fine. Surprised they're bringing in gut shots here, but whatever works. Kill with gut shot. Why not? Oh yeah, still had all these. Here's a lava dart. You're so dead. GG. Okay, opponent plays Forest and Birch Lore Rangers. So we're up against Elves. This is a matchup I haven't seen in a long time. Or rather, a deck I haven't seen in a long time. Been a very long time since I played against Elves. Definitely since before the break. Let's Lightning Bolt that. And play another land. Let's play one of these Flagwoods Bridge. Maybe I should have played the bridge before I cast the spell, because then I could have just hit F6 after putting the spell on the stack, but it's fine. There are definitely some aspects to Moto that lead to different lines of play. And what I mean is, in order to try and save time on the clock, there are things that you can do that you generally wouldn't, like choose this sequence if you were playing with paper. Find an ephemerate. So we can abrade this, but I want to keep the abrade at this point for more important creatures. So let's play the Spirited Companion, draw a card, and then we'll probably play the Thorn Glint Bridge. So I believe this is actually match number 5 at this point. Because yeah, we played against Burn, whatever the first match up was. We played 2 matches versus Shauna. So yeah, this is match 5. Okay, there is the target we were looking for the Abrade. Timberwatch Elf has got to go down. Hopefully Shauna wasn't paying attention to that one, or we're going to have a new quote in a minute. That is a nice looking forest. What does the island look like? That's okay. This forest is nice though. Interesting weapon that the citizen is using in Faithless Looting. For a second, I thought it looked like a signpost. You know what I mean? Had a lot of fun actually with the art for Faithless Looting. I was doing a little bit of editing, and I clipped out the windows And then I was able to just put whatever I wanted for the background. So when I was doing that, I was doing it for Rakdos Madness list, and I had Fiery Temper in the background, and it looked so good. Goliath Paladin, we're hopefully going to be deploying that next turn, but first and foremost, we need to abrade this Timberwatch Elf. Hey, Ritual Hippie. It's not new. It's generally a one of that you're able to search out, and it allows you to cast Distant Melody. It's I would say old tech. It's faithless looting here. We want to find an untapped land. Journey to Nowhere is really good. I think we're going to get rid of one paladin and one land, unfortunately. We need an untapped land, and Journey to Nowhere is too good to get rid of. We need to have answers to certain elves. It's very important. And I'm going to offer a trade. Yeah, I can't remember what the elf is called, but it's 2 mana. And when it comes into play, you can grab a basic land out of your library, put it into your hand. Okay, another Timberwatch Elf. Good thing we kept the removal. Might as well attack here with Birchlore Rangers. No attack. Okay. All right, let's Journey to Nowhere, get rid of that Timberwatch Elf. Maybe they were holding up Regenerate here. For 1 mana, I think Rapin Vigor. Or does that cost 2 mana? Oh, it costs 2 mana to Rapin Vigor. So that's not something they would have been holding up here. Regardless, let's attack first, and then we can ephemerate the Spirited Companion during their turn and maybe like catch them with a cheeky block. Have we played land this turn? We haven't played land this turn. We're going to ephemerate now. Nice. So that means next turn we can play Goliath Paladin, go get Plains, and then hold up Ephemerate Goliath Paladin. Oh man, they got another Timberwatch Elf. This is Timberwatch Elf number 3. Fortunately, we had 2 removal spells, but you can't expect us to have a third here, right? We have 3 cards left in hand. That Timberwatch is going to be a problem very quickly. All right, definitely going to draw an extra card here. Drawing a card is going to be way better than attacking for 1. And we find another land. Wonderful. But we don't need to let the opponent know about that. Let's just cast our Goliath Paladin, take the initiative, and then play a Plains. I don't think I want to ephemerate right now. I think I'm going to wait. The question is, do we want to double ephemerate on the Goliath Paladin, or do we want to only hit it once so that we can attack? I guess if we hit it with double, then we also lose the Forge. Wow, main deck Spider Silk Armor. I guess that makes a lot of sense with End the Festivities being in a lot of main decks. Okay, so they have 3 elves, so that means a creature gets +3/+3. So this would become a 4/5. So yeah, we can block it. We're going to target this one. You know, we could just ephemerate this and draw a bunch more cards. And we get to kill this one. That's great. I don't know why they... It doesn't make a lot of sense that they did it this way. I don't know why they wouldn't target the other Birchlore Rangers. I mean, you were going to get a kill on this anyway, and then you get to keep your other elf alive. I want to move through the Undercity, but then we don't get to attack with Goliath Paladin, which is a pretty big attack. We're attacking for 5. But then we're also going into the trap room, which is 5 anyways. Let's ephemerate the Goliath Paladin, move through the Undercity a little bit faster. Yeah, that's true. I can forge the companion. I probably might even be better off to do so. I don't know. With the Timberwatch Elf, like Spirited Companion is probably going to just die to anything that it blocks. Let's forge on the Goliath Paladin again. And we'll just chump with the Spirited Companion when it comes to it. Arena isn't really going to work out for us, where they can basically just tap whatever creature we're asking them to attack with. So yeah, Arena is not going to be an effective method of killing their critters, unfortunately. Let's do this Cleansing Wildfire thing, draw a card, find another land, unfortunate. Faithless Looting, see if we can find a Lightning Bolt or something. You know, we find Ardent Elementalist. That's pretty good. And with the Spirited Companion play, we should be able to attack for 1 damage, since we have 2 blockers. Find a Stonehorn Dignitary. Okay, so Ardent Elementalist plus Stonehorn Dignitary means that once we get that loop set up, opponent will never get another combat step. And I believe against Elves, that is a GG. Good thing, because they just got an amazing Winding Way. So yeah, their attack here isn't very good. We can even block Birchlore Rangers with Goliath Paladin. Okay, they just concede. Yeah, they were going way too slow there. Let's bring in a double breath weapon. Dawnbringer Cleric gets rid of the Spider Silk armor, so maybe we can bring that in, and it makes the Smash to Dust way better. We can take out Palace Sentinels. Prismatic Strands is also pretty good in this matchup, where they're going to be looking to hit for huge amounts of damage. So we can just like Prismatic Strands as a fog effect. Maybe we'll only play 3 Dawnbringer Clerics and take out maybe a Spirited Companion. Imagine bringing in Pyroblast for Distant Melody. That would be quite the tech. That's fine. Keepable. Opponent also keeps on 7. We're going to start with the Thornclint Bridge, which gives us both access to both of our colors for turn 2. And hope that we draw a Wildfire off the top. I gotta say, it's really nice to be playing Wildfire again. I love that card. One of my favorite cards in Pauper. Just a Sentinel. And we find Lightning Bolt. All right. I think we're gonna keep our removal for their good cards here. Let's just play Thornglint Bridge so we have a Braid next turn. And a Nettle Sentinel. Well, to be honest, I don't really want to kill any of these, and we just drew a Breath Weapon. I do kind of want to have access to removal, though, just in case if they play something next turn. Yeah, and then we'll have 3 mana regardless because of the other mountain. Let's just play the mountain instead of the bridge here. We can set up for Breath Weapon next turn. This card is so good. And one of the real big advantages to Breath Weapon over Cannonade is that you can't quickly just like draw an eye patch onto your cards with a Sharpie in order to make them pirates. Making a creature into a dragon is much more difficult. You got to draw each individual scale, and that takes a long time. Yeah, tap your stuff. Tap all your stuff, opponent, and deploy more things. Oh, this is so good. But they could have Wrap and Vigor, which is a problem. So I'm thinking, oh, maybe not. They're tapping everything for an Elvish Vanguard, which means they don't have Wrap and Vigor mana. This is going to be a blowout. Oh my god. And they only have 1 mana up. I guess they could have Dispel. So let's play around Dispel. Braid, dealing 3 damage to. I guess they could still untap the Quirion Ranger and still have Dispel. Yeah, they could still have like we can't play through Dispel here, unfortunately, because of the Quirion Ranger, and they have 2 Birchler Rangers. So yeah, we just can't. We just have to hope their last card is not Dispel. Rotten Vigil? Well, we're going to find out if they have it or not in just a moment. They don't have it. Their last card was not Dispel. Because, yeah, blind, that was going to be the answer. This spell. No, they don't have it. Oh, yeah, keep this. It's fine. Not great, but fine. And then Stream Team, if you can put a deck together, you can have the next match. We'll probably be calling it after a couple more matches, though. It booted the wrong deck. It's fine, it's fine. Quit the match and put up another one. Don't worry about it. You can just hit the X exactly, and um that'll have you concede the match. I've definitely done the same thing on more than one occasion where I forgot to change whatever deck was registered for the match. Fortunately for things like leagues, you can if you haven't played a match yet, you can drop the league and it'll give you all your money back. Thinking this Chainer's Edict is probably not going to do as well against our opponent's deck, where they're going to have plenty of things to potentially sacrifice. We're just going to take the 1 damage. I think Plant Token can do a little bit better than preventing 1. Oh, Corrupted Conviction to try and hit a land drop, I assume. There it is. And over to us. Okay. Got a few options here on what we can do. I kind of like playing Ichor Wellspring. Play the Proliferate Mirror. Oh, that's got to be an interesting one. Yeah, yeah, very solitaire. Who can do the thing faster? Gempalm Polluter. Just for cycle. No damage. Probably trying to find another land drop. And Ghoul Caller's Chant, bringing 2 cards out of the graveyard. Some pretty good card advantage there. Kind of want to play this Blood Fountain Deadly Dispute. So let's do that. If we Deadly Dispute now, we have to discard 2 hand size. So let's just pass the turn. And we'll Deadly Dispute on their turn. Okay, here's a Karen Feeder. Right? It's not like they even have haste. They didn't have anything with flash. Come on, get in there with the plant. Send a message. Deadly Dispute the Ichor Wellspring. Draw a whole whack of cards. We unfortunately don't find the initiative, though, which is what I was looking for. I guess I could Edict this. They probably have a Deadly Dispute or something, though. Let's start with Ichor Wellspring, see what we draw. Find Spinning Darkness, which is not going to be useful in this matchup at all. If I play land Chainer's Edict, I don't have to discard to hand size, but I don't mind discarding Spinning Darkness because it's not going to get us any value anyways. So let's just play Vault of Whispers and discard the Spinning Darkness. Well, I guess we could be like targeting our own creatures with Spinning Darkness. Another Karen Feeder. And a pass. Okay, so they have the Village Rights for that Karen Feeder. They will have to discard a hand size, though. Discarding a land. Okay, let's Chainer's Edict, get rid of their other Karen Feeder here. And then I guess we'll play a Rot Farm. Oh, they had the treasure, so they're able to Village Rights that. Cool. Yeah, let's do that. And I guess we have the Blood Token. So we're going to be able to draw and discard here. And we get a swamp to replace our swamp. Go Caller's Chant. A little bit more card advantage for the opponent. And a Shambling Ghast, which can kill our plant token. Okay, so they have some pretty good stuff now. Took them a minute to put it all together, but that has become a scary board. Find spell that is not going to help us right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if we use the treasure token, we could Chainer's Edict. But Chainer's Edict not looking too good at the moment. Let's bring out another plant token. I guess we'll cast this Edict out of hand. They can just sacrifice Nested Shambler. But it does mean that they're not going to Nameless Inversion their own Nested Shambler and make 4 squirrels. Gempalm Polluter for 3. Another Nested Shambler. So we definitely need some sweepers. We do have access to them in the list. I believe there's 2 Suffocating Fumes and 2 Crypt Rats in the main. All right, we're going to respond to this Gempalm Polluter, killing a Karen Feeder, which will reduce the amount of damage we take from Gempalm just a little bit. It's actually life loss, is it? Okay. Doesn't change too much, though, between damage and life loss. And another Ghoul Caller's Chant to get 2 Gempalm Polluters back in hand. That is going to be a big problem for us. Oops. Play this Avenging Hunter. Get a land. Play Colony Garden. Get another blocker. And pass back. Ghoul Raiser returns a random zombie from the graveyard, which is Karen Feeder. So they're going to be able to play Karen Feeder here. Actually, they don't even have to do anything. From here, they can just cycle both their Gem Palms, and that's GG. We do have 2 mana available, so they might be a little bit worried about a removal spell in response. Unfortunately, we just don't have one. So this is good game. Okay, lose game 1 versus the Zombies deck. We're going to take out Snuff Out and Spinning Darkness. Bring in Crypt Rats. Bring in Spellbomb. Bring in Weather the Storm and Fangran Marauder. Take out Duress. Maybe take out Thorn? The removal is also pretty bad in this matchup. Maybe we take out One Chainer's Edict. Irocam, hello. I'll keep this. Blood Fountain, pass back. Give us something for Deadly Dispute. Opponent starts with Nested Shambler. Okay, Llanowar Visionary, but we're going to need some green mana if we're going to deploy that. Let's Deadly Dispute. I kind of want to keep the Blood Fountain if we're going to do Crypt Rat stuff. And that gets us some green mana. Lazatep Reaver, giving them a zombie army token. And we take 1 damage. Find a Reckoner's Bargain, nice. I think I'm going to play the Llanowar Visionary this turn. So let's see what we draw. Okay, and we got a lot of lands. Let's actually play the Swamp and cycle the Baron more. Okay, Village Rights on the army token. And another Reaver. No attacks. All right, let's cycle the Baron more. Find a Spell Bomb, very nice. Spell Bomb seems pretty good. I want to wait 1 more turn before I deploy these Crypt Rats. Actually, I don't need to because of the Llanowar Visionary. So I can tap the Visionary to play the Crypt Rats, and I'd have 2 mana. And if I do this now, then I was thinking, like, if I do this now, then they can't Village Rights anything, but then they could also potentially start bringing their stuff back. So I would prefer to have this Spell Bomb on board before I use the Crypt Rats. That's unfortunate. That makes me really want to use the Crypt Rats now. All right, so we're going to hold control, activate Crypt Rats for 1, and then we'll do it for 1 again. Oh, I actually activated it for 0. So when we do it for 1 and then 1 again, we're going to get the Nested Shambler Squirrel token. So that's why we're doing it for 1 and 1. Okay, back to us. Play a Swamp, play a Spell Bomb, pass turn. Pretty tough to decide what we want to do, like with Blood Fountain here, if we want to get the Crypt Rat's Visionary back, or if we want a Reckoner's Bargain. Thinking we're probably going to want to get the creatures back because of how good Crypt Rats is in this matchup. And we're also just holding up this Spell Bomb, so if they cast their Bring Two Zombies back, Ghoul Caller's Chant, then we can respawn with Spell Bomb. Shit, really? Oh man, get got, nerd. Okay, I guess we can Reckoner's Bargain the Spell Bomb. That was pretty poor on my part. Cast down, nice. Chainer's Edict cast down, so we can kill all their stuff. Cool. Razor returns, unfortunately, the Karen Feeder. So I guess with Karen Feeder on the stack, I'm going to cast down the Husk. Teasdale, what's up? What's good? How you been? Have you ever tried an Orzhov Gates with a lady that gets protection when you sack? I have not. And that's another good question because I think it's an uncommon. But there might be another one that we're not thinking of. All right, let's play the garden, and then I can Reckoner's Bargain the plant when I block, and get my Crypt Rats back out of the graveyard. I love this deck. Actually, today I'm just playing casually in tournament practice room against viewers. I think Stream Team has the next match if they are still around. You got your deck ready? Fantastic. All right, let's go to blocks. Block the Karen Feeder. And Reckoner's Bargain, the plant token. Oh, we just find Crypt Rats off the top. You got two chances, Shauna. I played two matches with you. We had some good times. Your deck did get to do the thing. It was really cool in a really rude way. And we find Fangren. Cool. All right, let's play this Crypt Rats. And pass the turn back. So we got some pretty fun stuff going on with Crypt Rats here. We can like just continuously activate it for one, for one, for one, for one, anytime they try and activate their Karen Feeder. Crypt Brats. Favorite Pauper card right here. Love having the opportunity to play Crypt Rats in a deck. And this deck plays 4. Unfortunately, no unexpected bangs, which is a shame. Okay, go to block here. Full control. Activate Crypt Rats for 1. Activate Crypt Rats for 1 again. Now let's see if they respond. All right, so we are going to have to activate Crypt Rats for 1 again, because if they sacrifice the Ghoul Razor here, then we're going to be in a little bit of trouble. So yeah, go ahead and activate for 1. Pass priority. They're going to sacrifice the Nested Shambler. All right, do we want to activate the Crypt Rats again? I think so, because this prevents them from getting that squirrel to a sacrifice again. Make sure I click the mana. And then that should be fine. No, I don't need to let it resolve first. We've already got a whole bunch of 1 damage on the stack, 1 damage on the stack. All right, so they're putting this up to 2, and then it's going to go up to 3. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 damage coming up. So we don't need to do another damage here. This will be fine. It doesn't matter if he has more counters, because he's only going to have 1 more creature come in from the Nested Shambler, putting this up to 3. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4 damage. Oh shit. No, you're right. I missed that. I did need to do 1 more. That was a punt on my side. You tried to warn me, Irocam. You tried to warn me. But we don't take any damage because we did block it. Okay, that's bad. I'm going to end up losing this match because of that. Oh, best of luck, Shauna. See you around. So let's play Thorn of the Black Rose, which can block and kill that Karen feeder. Pretty nice draw, actually. And we get the Monarch, so let's see what we have on top. Find another garden. Another blocker. Okay, so they cast a Ghoul Razor, which gets them the Nantuku Husk. They play the Husk. No attacks. All right, I think I'm going to weather the storm here. Gain 9 life. And we find another Visionary. Very nice. Oh, that does make a lot of sense. Yeah, I should have done that. Fair enough. Let's play our 5/5. That's back. Shambling Gas from the opponent, which is going to allow them to kill the Thorn of the Black Rose if I Crypt Rats for 2. Okay, so they're going to use the Shambling Gas now to kill the Crypt Rats. So let's activate Crypt Rats. So going to sacrifice to the Husk. We could activate Crypt Rats for 2 again, but then we lose our Thorn. I think we just let this happen. They're only going to have 2 creatures here, and we'll have 2 blocks. Okay, board cleared. They have 1 card in hand. Oh, nice draw. Deadly Dispute. Play this Visionary, draw a card. Play Colony Garden. Pass back. We've gone through over half our deck, and we have found none of our initiative creatures. Hopefully one will be popping up shortly. Let's Deadly Dispute the Ichor Wellspring. Oh, Bajuka Bog. Very nice. That's exactly what we were looking for. Bajuka Bog, Avenging Hunter. Get rid of their graveyard. Avenging Hunter. And that should be a good game on this one, going to a game 3. Yep. Opponent keeping, as much time left on their clock as possible there. Makes sense, makes sense. So yeah, I had one pretty bad misplay on the game there, but otherwise that worked out. I'm going to keep this one. It's not great, but we've got a redraw with a Deadly Dispute for the Colony Garden. The thing is, like, I might not. It's going to be kind of tricky here. Just trying to think about how I want to sequence this. Probably still going to have to play the Garden turn one. It's a lot of Deadly Disputes. No blocks, no surprise. Nameless Inversion on their Nested Shambler, which gets them 4 squirrels. We need to find Crypt Rats pronto. We're going to leave the plant back here, so I'm blocking duty, prevent 1 damage. And Deadly Dispute. Opponent plays a Village Rites, draw some more cards. Karen Feeder. That's a scary one on this board. What do we find? Not that great. Start with a Visionary. Oops. I don't want to. Yeah, we'll just play the Swamp so I don't have to crack the clue yet. We're looking at discarding the hand size here, or I could play the Blood Fountain off of the clue. I think I'd rather keep that mana for later. Let's discard the hand size. I think we'll discard Thorn of the Black Rose. Thorn of the Black Rose not seeming like a good option at the moment. And when it is a good option, we can get it back with Blood Fountain. Much more interested in Crypt Rats. All right, here's another Nested Shambler. Hopefully they don't have another Nameless Inversion, because that Karen Feeder can get quite swole. We're going to need to find Cast Down or something for that. Surprised they're not attacking with the squirrel tokens here. We're going to want to keep this mana from the Visionary. We'll just take the 1 damage. Was also kind of expecting it to grow. Okay. Okay. Let's play the Vault of Whispers and pass the turn back. Actually, I think we can play the Blood Fountain as well, or the Spell Bomb, because we have 2 mana with Visionary Treasure. They're going to Nameless Inversion Nested Shambler in response to my Spell Bomb, making 4 more squirrels. That is scary. A scary amount of squirrels. Haven't seen this many squirrels on board since Chatterstorm. think I'm going to Reckoner's Bargain here to gain 3 life instead of Deadly Dispute. Ghoul Razor, which gets them Nested Shambler back, which they can replay. Oh, they got Nameless Inversion, rather. Okay. That's actually kind of scary because it gets my blocker out of the way. And I think they just have lethal on board here. 6, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yep. That's lethal, friends. Let's put down a Colony Garden. Blood Fountain. And I guess that's it. Oh, yeah, right. With the Lenore Visionary mana, we could have played the Fengren and then sacked the Spell Bomb. Yeah. Oh, that's me not putting enough time into considering my options. Oh, we find Crypt Rats. Might be too late, though. A double weather. Oh, we do gain a lot of life. We could crack treasure, weather the storm, or we could crack treasure, crack blood token, and then we have treasure plus spell bomb. Should have actually just used the spell bomb so they don't slam a Gurmag Angler right now. So that's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If I block the Ghoul Razor to keep my Fengren around for another turn. And another Blood Fountain, nice. That's some more life. Fengren Marauder definitely doing some work here. Gain 9. Play the garden. And F6. No attacks. Gem Palm Polluter for 2. Good thing it doesn't count squirrels. There were definitely some turns where that Gem Palm Polluter would have been scary. Oh, they snuff out our Fengren Marauder. That sucks. Oh, we just happened to draw another one. I'll play Crypt Rats. Bachuka Bog them. And then pass the turn back. Block. Block. Crypt Rats activate for 1. Kill all those squirrels. Okay, tap this, tap this. Reckoner's Bargain, gain 3 life. And draw 2 cards. They play a Husk. And we'll play Weather the Storm. Gain another 9 life. Find another Avenging Hunter. How much mana do we have? 3, 4, 5, 8 mana. With Avenging Hunter getting a land, we have 9 mana. Not enough for 2 hunters, unfortunately. I'm going to play Ichor Wellspring. Find another land. There's a Fengren Marauder with enough mana for a blood token. So we can maybe block this Karen Feeder and gain 5 life by discarding an Avenging Hunter. Oops, blood token, mana, discard a card, gain 5 life. Baron Moor. And a swamp. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 mana, so we can Avenging Hunter twice. Which means we get to grow one of our Avenging Hunters here. Forge. And pass back. Ooh. Did not see the Rotten Reunion coming. That's going to allow them to grow this Karen Feeder to be big enough to kill this Avenging Hunter. As well as getting rid of my Fangran Marauders out of the graveyard. Oh, that's a surprise. I did not expect that line of play. So they sacked a creature to the husk, so they were able to kill both my Avenging Hunters and take the initiative. They have one card left in hand. All right, let's use the Blood Fountain, get back Avenging Hunter, Avenging Hunter. Actually, cancel that. Let's get back Avenging Hunter and Thorn of the Black Rose. Okay, we block here so that we get to keep the initiative. Oh, don't F6. I would like to cycle the Baron Moor at end of turn. We get to draw an extra card thanks to the archives. Find another Weather the Storm. Let's play Thorn of the Black Rose. Ichor Wellspring. Play the Rot Farm. Returning Colony Garden. And then Weather the Storm. Actually, let's Deadly Dispute and Ichor Wellspring first. Find a cast down. Let's cast that. And then green mana, Weather the Storm, F6. And we win. What a grind. Holy shit. That is some of the grindiest Magic I have ever played. Good game. Good game. I thought that we already had. I thought that I already had enough damage on board. I didn't realize that I didn't. Are we playing against Ponza? Looks like we're playing against Ponza. Nope, definitely not Ponza. Sulphurous Mine. Or Mire. No idea what we're playing against then. Looking for a 2-drop creature. Oh, perfect. Perfect draw. Let's play this Radiant Fountain. Play the Informant. And I guess we'll discard Crossroads. Rimewood Falls. Okay, is this like 3 visits? This is like a tribal deck? Like Tribal Flames? So that they can get like all the different land types down and then Tribal Flames for 5? Dominion, thank you. I couldn't remember what the keyword was. Find a Journey to Nowhere. Okay, let's attack for 3. And then we can Core Skyfisher the Thraben Inspector and replay it. Okay, continuing to ramp. Wood Elves allows them to put another forest onto the battlefield. So they're going to have, oh, that's cool. Gingerbread Cabin makes a food. Very cool. All kinds of wicked stuff going on the opposite side of the board. This is kind of a pain for my informant here, but we can just replay the informant. Attack, attack. Play Core Skyfisher. Return Rafine's Informant and replay Rafine's Informant. Get another Connive. Oh yeah, let's just discard the vet. We can replay that out of the graveyard, and we get ourselves a 3/2 out of the deal. Okay, cracking the food to gain 2 life. You think they're playing Deadly Dispute in this list? Feels like between the food tokens, the creature wood elves, running black mana anyways, Deadly Dispute seems like a pretty nice option. Here's a Mull Drifter for 5. We're going to hit that with a Journey to Nowhere, perhaps. Depends a little bit on what happens this turn. Guardian's Pledge might just be a good option as well. Ooh, we find a desert. Okay, so Guardian's Pledge would be if they don't block. So that's 8, 9, 12, 16 damage, so not lethal if they don't block. So maybe we just Journey to Nowhere, Veteran, set up with Sanctuary, and then try and go for the kill next turn. Meanwhile, we've got these two clues just sitting on our board. Hey, you want to draw a card? Maybe later. Another Meyer. I wonder if they have the Golgari version of the probably, right? So they could get the black mana through 3 visits or Wood Elves. I'm just wondering, like, what the if the black mana is actually used for anything, like Deadly Dispute, or is it just for Domain? And I don't even know for sure that they're playing Domain. I only know like Tribal Flames is the obvious good card of Domain. What else is good in Domain and Pauper? It's not something I've really thought of. There's the Tribal Flames on the Informant. Yep. Gain a life. Super clutch. Oh yeah. That is absolutely a thing. Find a land. All right. Let's okay, let's play the Radiant Fountain, use a clue. Find an Overseer. Okay. Let's attack. Kind of thinking, are they just holding up mana for crack food? I guess we'll see, right? Like they can crack the food. They have to do that before damage, though. No, because this is not lethal. This is only 6 damage. All right, let's go for lethal here and see if they have Moment's Peace in the main. This is like 14 damage, which is more than enough for the food token. I guess if they have Lightning Bolt here, they could kill a Skyfisher in response. And then I think they live. Because this is too much damage. Oh, they have Scred. Okay. Still going to be a lot of damage, though. Putting them to 2. They have 3 cards left in hand, going up to 4. We can just F6 through the turn. We only have 1 mana. Vampire Sovereign. Okay, that's scary. Should have waited on that Guardian's Pledge. And another Tribal Flames, killing another one of our critters. What do we get? Find a Bugler. All right, let's start with Overseer, see what we draw. Find another land. Let's bugle. Boop-a-doop. Find another Bugler. Or an Overseer. Let's go for Bugler. Pass the turn. Bugler pretty much always, it's not really binning it. The thing is, Bugler puts cards back onto the bottom, whereas our other 3 drop, Airlift Chaplain, I think it's called, that one puts things in the bin. But yeah, I find that Bugler will quite often just reveal lands and spells. Okay, there's the Outrider. Oh, it has reach as well. Bam, take 5. That's cool. Boop a doop. I'm gonna crack the clue, see if we get a card here that lets us win. Find a Battle Screech. All right, let's bugle again. Boop a doop. Oh wow, whole bunch of stuff. We get our choice here. Gonna go for the Airlift Chaplain. I think we're in a situation where we can start throwing away our creatures for damage. Like next turn, we're just putting so many creatures onto the board, and this attack puts them to 3. We already have like lethal on board. Oh, that's right. They gain 3, so this puts them to 6. And they can block Bugler and Overseer take 3, go to 2. Yeah, that attack, because of the food, I think that attack was actually bad. Shadow Prophecy. Look at the top X cards, where X is the number of basic lands. Put 2 of them into your hand, the rest of the graveyard, lose 2 life. I like that lose 2 life part. That's pretty nice. But being able to look at the top 5 and choose 2 is really strong. You could potentially find something to gain a bunch more life. Don't know what it would be. They do have Wood Elves in the graveyard, so they could grab like Pulsa Marasa. Nature's Lore, get another forest. It's another gingerbread cabin for another food token, last food token from their lands. And we do have a lethal attack here. But I think that I want to Battle Screech. I would just think, like, do I Battle Screech before I attack? I can't, though. Attack all. They need something. This is a lethal attack. Oh, right, the food token. It's not lethal. It's... How many times am I going to forget about that food token, huh? Interesting block. I guess they're trying to play around another Guardian's Pledge, but even if I have another Guardian's Pledge, this is huge damage anyways. Yeah, Iroh. I'm just constantly forever gonna forget about the food that they just put onto the table. It's embarrassing. All right, let's play the Chaplain. Oh, so many things here. Let's grab Spirit and Companion. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Battle Screech. Let's play the Luminous Phantom and flashback the Battle Screech. And in response, they're going to Scred the Luminous Phantom. So we're not going to be able to gain a bunch of life if they have some kind of a sweeper. I would expect they would have some form of sweeper in a deck like this. So here's another Vampire Sovereign. They have one card left in hand and they're at 5 life. Oh, they play their land. I disagree with that land play. I think they 100% should have left that land in hand so that I would be playing around some unknown card. Play Spirited Companion, draw a card. Play Thraben Inspector, crack Clue. Find Airlift Chaplain. Let's go to combat. Attack all. And then we'll battle Screech again. Okay, this puts them to 1. And we'll gain 2 more life, why not? Back up to 20. Bird, bird, bird. Bird is the word. Bird, bird, bird. Looks like a Mole Drifter. Yep. Mole Drifter full price. See if they find a sweeper. Do they even have a sweeper in their main? I think they should. Find another Battle Screech. Beautiful. Even if they do have a sweeper, we can just reload. Okay, we win that one. I am going to want some number of prismatic strands because they're probably going to have some form of a sweeper in the sideboard. So we're going to want to bring that in for sure. We'll take out a couple buglers for the prismatic strands. And then the question is, do I want Celestial Flare? I kind of feel like I just really want to continue with the game plan here, be aggressive. So we'll just keep our removal as Journey to Nowhere. And I think we'll play with this. A little bit land light, but we have the Informant to try and find land. We have the Clue, Core Skyfishers, sort of like land. We got the Journey for their first big threat. I like this hand. We're going to keep it. Another Journey. Cool, cool, cool. Let's play the Thraben Inspector past the turn. No land. All right, let's play the Informant here. Look for a land drop. We find the land drop. Very nice. I think we'll just discard the Thraben Inspector. Get ourselves a 3-2. 3 visits from the opponent. We can have 6 safely. So they're going to ramp up a little bit. Okay, attack for 4. And I guess we'll play an Inspiring Overseer. Ooh, Battle Screech. Nice. Okay, Wood Elves. So no sweeper yet. Find a gingerbread cabin. Gives them a food token. So they'll be able to gain 3 life here. Any land on top? No land on top. I think I want to play the Inspiring Overseer. Look for another land drop. Let's attack in. Oh wow, takes full damage, no blocks. Inspiring Overseer. We do not find the land drop, unfortunately. Pass back. Another Wood Elves. Ramping a little bit more, getting them another food token if that's what they desire. So I was wondering if they play the Woodland Chasm. We know for sure now they do. So they have red, blue, and black. They're missing red, blue, black, and green. So they're just missing white. Another core Skyfisher. Unfortunate. All right, let's attack all. If they want to double block the Rafine's Informant, yeah, that's fine. All right, so we're going to play a core Skyfisher, return the Radiant Fountain, and then we'll replay the Radiant Fountain. Play another core Skyfisher, and I guess we'll return the Thraben Inspector. So we've got 8 power on board, swinging in the air. And if they play a creature to block, we've got Journey to Nowhere to get it out of the way. 3 mana, including a blue. I'm wondering if they might be evoking. Yep, evoking a Muldrifter is exactly what's going on. Trying to draw 2 cards, find that sweeper would be my guess. Aren't too many ways to flicker without white or blue mana. I can't think of any, so Muldrifter goes to the graveyard. Here's Nature's Lore. They could have potentially had like a Deadly Dispute there. That's something I don't think I've seen yet, actually. Evoke Muldrifter, Deadly Dispute the creature before you sack it. Oh, here's a Weather the Storm. Gain a bunch of life. 9 life for 2 mana and a card. Pretty good return on that. Again, we miss on land, but finding the Informant here is actually pretty cool. So let's play the Veteran to gain a life when we play the Informant, and we're going to discard Battle Screech. Tap, tap, tap. Now that'll put some more power on the board. Better find that sweeper. Arms of Adar. Okay, another Mole Drifter, full price. They have 4 mana up, so Arms of Adar or Breath Weapon are possible outs here. Would allow them to keep playing. But I think without one of those two things, I don't think they're going to be able to withstand this board. Oh, it's a Wood Elves. Okay, they tap out for oh, not quite tapping out, but they tap low for Wood Elves here, so no sweeper. Just put a forest into play untapped. So they probably have some form of removal spell, or maybe another Weather the Storm. We find Guardian's Pledge. Oh my god. Attack all. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So it's not lethal currently. Let's make it lethal. And that's it. That's game, friends. And that brings us towards the end of our stream.